Hello, I'm going to be showing you how to add a mask and how to use it. Now, the first thing you have to do is make a selection onto your layer, onto your image. Now that you have your selection made for your image, now what you're going to do is go all the way to the bottom right to your layers, find the little camera, click on it. Now, as you see, if you go back to your layers, up to your layers, to the image that you've added the mask, you see this new little black and white box next to your image. That is the mask. Now that you've added the mask, you can do a lot of changes with the mask. You can do so many different things with it and you don't have to worry about mistakes because it won't ruin the original picture, only the mask, and you can just add a ton of things with it. Like the first thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to change the color of this vehicle. I'm going to change it from red to like a different color. So like maybe like a light blue or like a green. So to do so, just go to the bottom of your layers, find this little circle with black and white, half black. Click on it, go all the way up until you find hue and saturation. Now you see this, you get this adjustment layer. Now that you click on it, if you go back to your layers, you see that you have this new layer. It is an adjustment layer that I hope you change the color onto your image. Now make sure it is clipped onto your image that you've added the mask on. To do that, just so you see, you can right click on it, the adjustment layer mask, go up until you find create clipping mask. That clips it. Or another way is, let's say if you're onto this properties adjustment panel, go down till you find this little white box with an arrow going down. This also helps you clip it. But now, let's go to the main part. Now that you've made the adjustment layer and everything, go to hue, and then you can start dragging it. As you see, now the color is starting to change. Here's the green, light blue. You can have it however as you want. Let's say I'm gonna do like this dark blue. And then after you've made your color, you can change your saturation you like. Maybe add like no color. You can raise the saturation. You can just mess with it however you like. But just keep it like this for now. You can also do this cool little thing with the mask. If you go to your layers panel, find your adjustment layer that you've just made and change the hue. Press Control I. This inverts your mask. So you may think that you may not the color isn't there anymore, but the color's still there. It's just invisible. To change that is you're going to have to get your brush tool by pressing B and then make sure your main color, your main foreground color is white. Now that you've done that, now just start coloring on top onto your image. And as you see, the image is now being colored. That's because as I said, the mask is still there, and because thanks to the brush, you're actually bringing back, making them visible again. Now, let's say I can do a cool little thing. Let's say I can add a bit of red with it and some blue on it. That with a mask, if you go to your one of your masks that you've made, hold Shift and then click on it, this cancels. This pretty much like another thing with masking is you can cut out an image. Now let's say I want to take out the white and maybe like have some other color in the background instead of white, but still keep the car. Now just press W, make sure you have your quick selection. Go all the way up until you find select subject. Click on it. I won't worry about the shadow or anything, but now that you made your selection, go back to your layers panel, click the mask button. Then as you see, the the background has been masked out. And if you go back to your layers panel, you see there's already some white and black in there. The black means the white background is in there, and the white is the vehicle that's visible. And let's say you want to add that shadow, let's say that I've had left out. Make sure you have white as your foreground so you can bring back your shadow or whichever, as you see right here. And then just press X to invert it so you can have black as your foreground. And let me show you this little tip with the mask. Now let's say you want to still keep your mask, but you want to see the original picture for like a moment. Go to your mask, hold shift, and click on it. This pretty much cancels the mask. It's still there and everything. As you see, there's the X over it. And if you want to bring it back, just hold shift and just press the mask again. And another thing is if you right click on it, you have these little things that you can mess around with. Add mask to the selection, subtract, select mask, disable layer mask. That's what I just did. Holding shift, you disabled it. Or let's say you want to have maybe a mix of your background, like some of the let's say like some of the lime green and the white. Now just go your mask, press the foreground, the correct foreground, and then you can have a mix up. Some green with some white. Another great example with the mask is let's say you want to change the color of this man's shirt. So like let's say like the stripes like maybe like a blue, red, or like different or like maybe like the shirt. Let's say you select subject, go to your layers panel, find the circle to where you can add hue and saturation. As you see, you're automatically already made a mask. As you see right here, the mask is already here because of the selection that we've already made. And this also help you start changing the color. Go to the top, find the little hand, and on to the right you see this. It will say master. Click on it. Then as you see right here, say reds, yellows, greens, cyans, blues, magentas. Those are the main colors. As you see, this is yellow, the shirt. So I have to click yellows. Now this will change anything that's yellow, and then you can start adjusting. The background is also yellow, but because of the mask, it's only on the person. Well, besides between his legs, but you can fix that. So let's say you want a red shirt, or let's say like a pink shirt, and make sure you have a clipping mask on. Now what you can do is go to your mask, press Control I, and then just make sure you have white as your foreground. And let's say if you made a mistake, we'll just invert your foreground to black, and then just paint it out. Fix the edges if you like, and then just continue. As you see right here, I'm just deciding to just go across the edges. Don't worry about too much about how much I get, because after all, it's still best to still be a bit careful, but you can just do it, and then you can just fix it right after, like near the end, or like after you've done it. Just go back and fix it. Now see, he has a pink shirt, and maybe I want the stripes to be maybe like a blue. We'll just do the same thing again. Just go to here in saturation, might add a clipping. Make sure you change the from master to yellows, and then just change it. Like a let's say green, or say green. invert. Went from him just being all yellow, yellow background, yellow shirt, and then started changing it. Purple shirt, purple background, and then a nice teal green a button shirt. That's how you add and use a mask in Photoshop. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.